By the end of this video, you'll understand equipment and vehicle finance better than most businesses. And trust me, that confidence will make all the difference. I'm Sarah from Finlease, and today we're covering everything you need to know about equipment and vehicle finance. The goal is to empower you to feel confident when it comes to navigating the finance process. Here's what we're going to cover today. What finance actually is and the key terms you need to know. What you can finance, spoiler, pretty much everything. Chattel mortgage, which is the main type of finance. What you really pay and how to work out the true costs. Why brokers exist and how they can help you, cash flow options to protect your business, and smart questions to ask and red flags to watch out for. Let's start with the basics. Equipment finance is essentially a business loan for you to purchase what you need to operate and earn an income for your business, whether that's anything from vehicles, equipment, machinery, office fit-outs. Why does this type of finance exist? Well, most businesses don't have $60,000 sitting in the bank account for that new excavator. And maybe even if you did, it wouldn't be the smart play to take all that cash flow out just in case you need it for something else. Finance allows you to spread the payments out over that piece of equipment whilst it's earning income. Here's some key terms that you must know. The loan amount, how much you're actually borrowing. The interest rate, which is what the lender charges you to borrow the money. The loan term, how long you'll be paying the loan back. Generally, this is over 2 to 5 years. Repayment. This will be your monthly repayment. Balloon or residual payment. This is an optional payment at the end of your loan that lowers your regular repayment. It's calculated as a percentage. Security. This is what the lender will take if you do not pay for the loan. So this is generally the asset. Now these terms will come up constantly, so feel free to screenshot them. So what can you actually finance? Well, that's almost anything. If it has a serial number or it can be valued, you can probably finance it. It doesn't matter whether the asset or vehicle is new or used, you can get finance for either. If you're purchasing from a dealership, you don't have to use a dealer finance. You can use any lender. Private sales or another business. This is where a broker can really help. We handle all the inspections, checks, and settlements that a private sale requires. Today we're going to talk about the chattel mortgage, which is the most common form of equipment and vehicle finance. You own the equipment from day one. The lender holds a mortgage over the asset until the day it is paid in full. How it works. The lender gives you the money to buy the equipment. You own it immediately. You make the regular repayments. This can include a balloon payment at the end. Once the asset is paid off, it is 100% yours. There's also some tax benefits to this structure. Now, always consult with your accountant. Businesses may be eligible to claim the depreciation on the asset, claim the interest on the monthly repayment as a tax deduction. If under $20,000, potentially claim the instant asset write-off. If GST registered, claim GST upfront on your next BAS. This option works really well for tradies who want to own the asset, maximize tax benefits, and have some equity at the end. Choosing the right loan really depends on your business structure, accounting method, and tax situation. We always recommend that you would talk to your accountant to make sure you're maximizing all your benefits. We do work with accountants all the time. We love them. So by all means, introduce us to your accountant. One of the things we see a lot is that people are really overwhelmed about finance and they think that getting a loan is really, really hard. So what I want to do is actually bring a broker into the conversation right now, and I have Kyle here with me. And we're going to talk about actually how seamless and simple it is to get a loan. When most people think about getting a loan, they become really overwhelmed because they think that they're going to need to provide financials, all sorts of documentation, but that's not really true, is it?
No, not at all. Usually I'd say about 80% of our loans are done by what we call low doc, which just means low documentation. So the banks have actually built a policy around this, knowing that lots of small business owners don't have all their paperwork together. So if you've been in business for usually more than 2 years, all we need from you is your driver's license, your ABN details, a quick privacy consent form signed, and we can usually get approvals in 24 hours.
So you're not asking me for tax returns, bank statements?
No, 9 times out of 10, all we need is those 2 items, privacy consent form and your driver's license.
So a lot easier than people think. So if that gives you some level of reassurance. Now, what would happen, Kyle, if Maybe I'm a really new business. I've only been trading for 3 months, 6 months.
Yeah, there's still options. It wouldn't really fall into what we call low doc, but usually light doc, which just means instead of a full, account and prepared financial statements, it might just mean 3 months business bank statements for your first 3 months.
Yep.
A bit of industry experience, explaining to the bank what you've done prior to opening your business and showing that you know what you're doing for the first 3 months.
So it's your job to show to the bank that you are like a worthy candidate.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll get, understand the full picture of your business and what you've done prior. We'll package that up and then find the right lender for you.
So if somebody's watching this and they're thinking, look, my bookkeeper's behind, they might not even have an accountant yet at this point, they haven't done their tax returns, they can still get finance? Yeah,
absolutely. So lenders have actually created this low doc product knowing lots of small business owners have messy paperwork, but doesn't mean they're not pays. There's still a good deal there.
So I'm buying a new vehicle and I need to do low doc because I don't have my tax returns up to date or any paperwork. Are the interest rates going to be the same for me?
If you're buying a new vehicle and you fit all the major banks, low doc criteria, which is usually just 2 years in business, the rates will be the exact same. Yeah.
Awesome. That's great. I think the big key takeaway after this conversation with Kyle is that don't assume that you're not going to qualify for finance. The whole role of a broker is for you to go to them and talk about what asset you want to purchase and all about your business, and they will find the right lender for you. Let's talk about understanding interest. Interest is the cost of borrowing the money. What is going to affect your interest rate? Your credit history, how long you've been in business, the equipment type and age. The end of the term of your loan, you can do the following things. Pay out the balloon and own the asset, refinance the balloon over 2 to 3 more years, trade the asset and roll the balloon into new finance. When does a balloon make sense for you? If you need to lower your monthly repayments to retain cash flow, you plan to trade the asset before the term of the loan, you expect business growth to afford it later. So what do brokers actually do? If you go directly to the bank, you're getting their product only. You're getting their rate, their approval criteria, and it's basically take it or leave it. However, when you use a broker, you're getting access to 40 plus lenders, all competing for your business. As a broker at Finlease, we compare all the rates and terms. You're running one application, but we're looking at multiple options. We handle all the paperwork and we're on your side. There's some real benefits to using a broker. For example, here at Finlease, we fund $1 billion annually. That volume and buying power means that the lenders give us access to better rates. In turn, you as a client benefit from our volume. We know who's going to say yes. Maybe you've missed a few payments lately. Maybe you're buying an unusual asset. Maybe you're a really new business. We know what lenders will approve what situations. We're not going to go and put an application through to a lender that we know is going to reject it. As a broker, we save you time. We are the ones going and doing the legwork to make sure that we are putting your loan in the best possible place. Instead of you reaching out to get options from 5 different lenders, we do all the work behind the scenes for you. We're low doc specialists. Now we know what lenders do this really, really well, and we will talk to them when it comes to your application. We have some serious private sales expertise. Now, private sales can be a little bit more tricky. There's some PPSR checks and things that need to happen in the back end to facilitate a private sale. Doing this on your own can be a little bit of an arduous process. However, when you have a broker, they do all the legwork, all the inspections, and take everything off your plate. Having a broker means having somebody on your side. The banks work for them. Finlease, we work for you. It's a really important difference that people need to understand. We want to know all about your business. We want to know about your structure, your growth plans, even some of the pain points, and we'll help you work through all of those things. There's a few different ways to protect cash flow, and I want to talk about a couple of those things. You can refinance existing loans to reduce your monthly outgoings. Now, if you have finance contracts with 12 months or less remaining, or a loan with a residual balloon payment due soon, refinancing could help spread out repayments over a long term, reducing your monthly commitments and easing cash flow pressure. You can utilize something called insurance premium funding. Now, rather than paying annual insurance premiums in one lump sum, consider spreading payments over a 10 to 11 month period. These are often available at lower rates than those provided by your insurance broker. and it can help smooth out expenses throughout the year. You can also unlock capital from owned assets. If you have fully paid off machinery or vehicles, you can refinance them to raise additional working capital, giving you access to funds when you need it most. Set up a flexible working capital facility. A low doc unsecured working capital facility, either as a short-term loan or an overdraft style facility, can provide you a financial cushion. This allows you to redraw and pay down funds as needed, with far less hassle than increasing an existing overdraft with your bank. Now we're going to go over some questions to ask when you're going for finance and some red flags to look out for. Here's some things that we would ask if we were going for finance. What is the actual interest rate, including all fees and charges? What's the actual monthly repayment and any fees associated? Also, what are all the fees? You need to take into consideration that there can be an application fee, monthly fees, all sorts of things thrown in the back end, especially when you're looking at dealership finance. So ask for everything in writing. As far as the structure of the loan goes, here's a couple of questions to ask. What loan terms are available? What balloon percentage options do I have? And what happens at the end of the term of my loan? What are my options? Now let's chat about a few red flags. Here's some dealership finance red flags that you should look out for. What's the true total I'll pay? What's the true interest rate, including all fees and charges? Look out for any pressure tactics. Good deals don't disappear in 24 hours. Keep an eye on any rate changes between the quote that you were given and the contract. If the numbers do not match what they've actually told you, ask why. Don't sign if you're confused. If they're not interested in letting you take the contract home, that's a major red flag. You should always be able to review a contract. Never sign under pressure. Everything you get should be in writing. Verbal promises mean nothing. Ask for everything in an email. If you're going for dealer finance, here's what we recommend. Tell them you need some time to compare quotes. Let them know you have finance pre-approved. This lets the dealer know that you're ready to go. Feel free to say, I'm taking this home to review. If they pressure you, it's not a great sign. One thing we know about dealers is they love to advertise a low rate, but it's not always as good as it seems. $599 finance available? Sounds great, right? Think again. Here's what they sometimes don't tell you. The advertised rate almost never shows you what you're actually going to be paying. The true cost is often hidden in fees, charges, and large balloon payments at the end. Often a rate can look competitive, but when you look in the back end, you notice things like a $795 application fee, a $15 a month account keeping fee, and a huge balloon at the end. Suddenly, that's not such a good deal. This is why on the Finlease website, we have a special calculator that allows you to run the numbers yourself. Simply input the details from your quote, and this calculator will provide you with the real rate. There's no sign up required, no email, it's completely free, it's there for people to use at any point. You can even do it on the spot when you're at the dealership. Put in all those numbers, the payment, the balloon, and every fee, and let them know that you're able to calculate the true interest rate on your own. If a quote ever feels off or you're simply unsure how to calculate it, we are more than happy at Finlease for you to reach out, give it to us, let us have a look, and we will do it for you. There is absolutely no need for anybody to be overpaying or entering into a contract that is less than favorable. There's potentially other deals out there. So the biggest piece of advice that we can leave people is always get a second quote. Don't just go with what the dealership tells you. And at the end of the day, if the dealership is giving you an amazing offer, we will simply let you know that and you can proceed with confidence. I'm hoping you feel like you have learned a little bit about finance today and don't feel as intimidated by the process. It shouldn't be as scary as what everybody thinks it is. With the low doc options out there today, we don't require a lot from you. The chances of you being rejected for finance are exceptionally low. I hope that you no longer walk into dealerships blind anymore and that you're armed with a little bit more information to proceed with confidence. Now you know how to work out the numbers of a true interest rate as well by using our calculator on the website. At Finlease, we're all about empowering our clients. We want people to understand the finance process. We are open to people getting second quotes and asking all the questions you like. We want you to be educated. We are here to make the process seamless and straightforward. It's one of those things. Do you want to spend hours getting quotes or shopping around for deals, or would you prefer someone else to do it for you? Like I said before, We are a big business. We've been doing this for 35 years. We've worked with tradies for 35 years. Give us a call. Let us have a look at a second quote, give you some options, some comparatives to look at, and you might be pleasantly surprised. If you just need some guidance and support in regards to setting up some loans or restructuring loans, cash flow options, we're always here to help. I think one of the biggest things that I want to leave people with today is we're here when you need us. And so that means before 9 o'clock and after 5 p.m. We don't work like a bank. We're accessible at the hours that people work. And we know that it's between 9 to 5. You guys are super busy doing your own thing. So if you want to call after 5 o'clock, if you need to talk after you've put the kids to bed at 7 o'clock at night, just let us know. Ask questions, use our calculator, and by all means call us if you need some help.